Welcome to the Potope Illinois channel. I'm Anna. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, your help and support for this channel. I am very grateful to you. Today, we are turning to Hecate. On my channel, this is a traditional reading. I do it often. Why Hecate? Because we are approaching the full moon. The full moon in Sagittarius. It's a very interesting full moon. It will also be in conjunction with Lilith, and also on the axis of catastrophes. But don't worry, it's just two stars, Aldebaran and Antares. Aldebaran is in Taurus, and Antares is in Scorpio. So, the heart of Scorpio is believed to stir emotions, yes, but it also brings out hidden, secret talents. But during the full moon, Aldebaran will be in Gemini, and the heart of Scorpio, Antares, will be in Sagittarius, right where the full moon is happening. That means it will reveal your emotions or the emotions of your loved ones. It depends on what will happen with what. Now we'll do your signification and see what the signification shows. We will address Hecate specifically, and this triple goddess, she actually unites both Lilith and Selena within herself. And she also gives a lot, a mass of emotions. She protects women. She protects creative, intuitive people. Well, in general, it's important, right? An important full moon. Well, let's see. Let's just look at the tarot and see what it brings you. Let's see. Let's ask Hecate how she sees you. And what is the situation? What does the full moon give you? About Lilith, by the way, I wanted to say that Lilith will touch on the topic. Well, she has a 9-year cycle, and 9 years ago there was exactly the same full moon. Well, a little different, of course, right? So, maybe there will be some similar topics that might affect you as well. Again, let's not forget that Lilith is not very well liked, right? But she hides a lot of talents. A huge number of talents. It's really powerful, right? I'd say that when there's this kind of conjunction on the axis of catastrophes, it can heal some kind of trauma. You can heal emotions. You can see what you haven't seen before, what was getting in the way, and remove it forever. That is, move to a new level. It's just that the name sounds so scary. Axis of catastrophes. Well, yes, it can bring up some emotions, but when you see them, that is, when you become aware of them and understand them, it will be easier to reach your goal. Well, Aldebaran is actually in Taurus, right? The only thing is that now this star will be in Gemini. That is, through communication, through documents, through transportation, through short trips, movement, and changes, something will be resolved. But maybe it will be about Taurus, about your resources, your money, about energy, life energy in general. It's just that Taurus rules the second house in the chart, right? For everyone. So yes, it could be here. And it's also very easy to work through Taurus energy. Yes. But how do you do it through Taurus? Just calmly do this work. The only thing is, yes, in the heart of Scorpio, yes, and Taurus. It's the heart of Scorpio. Something important for us. Something emotional can be resolved there. And yes, Lilith, she can cause a surge of these emotions. Or people will be expressing their emotions, and you'll see it all around you. Or you might. Maybe someone will shed a tear, and someone else, on the contrary, will feel inspired. In general, it's an interesting full moon. Its influence is already happening. Maybe you've already felt it. Yes, it's like something is building up inside. Something has accumulated. Maybe it already has. Well, let's see now. We'll be turning to Hecate, Hecate. Hecate. Show us. Looking from the Watcher. We're doing our signification. Mother of Fire. It came straight from the court cards, yes, so it's something very important for you. Some kind of important activity. And emotions, probably, after all. With the Mother of Fire, yes, such passionate emotions. Something needs to be done, probably related to some matters, most likely emotions. Mother of Fire, Hecate, shows you, so to speak, on the witch's land. You know what you want, either at work or in your affairs. You know what you want, and in principle, you achieve it. But by the way, when it comes to the axis of catastrophes, Mother of Fire is not very good on the axis of catastrophes. If we're talking about this, then, it can make emotions boil over. If there were no axis of catastrophes, you would simply know what to do and do it. Yes, like in Taurus or Gemini, communication is calm. There are some changes, little trips, but it can be irritating. Well, you see, it's such an interesting conjunction on the axis of catastrophes. Right at Antares, that is, fiery energy. You can flare up. That's how it is in the negative, for example. Look, it shows you in the upright position. So, in the positive, you can still control some outbursts of rage, for example, anger, aggression. So look, here's how the Queen of Fire acts in everyday life in the negative. She processes things. Well, let's say she wants something for herself. She has a goal. I see the goal. I don't see any obstacles. And even the fact that my body can't go on anymore is not an obstacle. Because yes, often the Mother of Fire takes on other people's tasks, her own tasks, and excessively, and the joints give out. Blood pressure often spikes. Then you get frustrated. Then you cry because you don't have the strength for it. But the most important thing is just not to give up. It's the full moon after all. It gives a lot of different emotions. Well, maybe you'll notice something somewhere. In any case, right now you are seen simply as the Mother of Fire. You know what you want. Right now you know what you want. And you can do it. Well, super, of course. The only thing is, it's important to stay in the direct position of the Mother of Fire. Don't take hyper-control when you just don't care anymore. I want to achieve this goal, and I will achieve it, no matter what. It doesn't matter if I suppress someone else, or suppress and break myself. Yes. Just be more careful with this. How else does Hecate see you? Wow, a major arcana. You have a strong connection with your ancestors, with your relatives, with your homeland. This is actually the card of the Last Judgment. Well, I'll say that This isn't even a human judgment. Let's just say, right now, you are very strongly connected with higher powers, starting with God. If you are a believer, yes, maybe even prayers. Sometimes we pray to higher powers even. Well, not directly, like, yes, without lighting a candle, without going to church, but just hoping, just wishing it would work out. And this is a constant conversation, because deep down we are all connected. Higher powers always hear us, yes, guardian angels. But this is also an ancestral connection, a direct ancestral one. Mother of Fire. Maybe you and your relatives have just activated some kind of communication right now. By the way, relatives can even come from the other world. Thank God, by the way, that the card came up in the upright position, because Lilith, specifically Lilith, is the dark side of the moon. She can give a connection. Niam. In short, with, how should I put it? With the lower astral. Not just with the upper astral, where guardian angels are. Paradise, the bright souls. Let's put it this way. You have a bright soul. That's how Lilith sees you. Oh, Lilith. Sorry, I was just talking about Lilith. That our connection is actually... That is, the full moon will be in Sagittarius. And Lilith is there too. She can lead into the lower astral. But you might, well, if we're talking about this card, for example, spirits of your ancestors might reach out to you. Those who are in the lower astral, well, pray for me. They might appear in your dreams. Knock on your door. You know, you understand how to help us. Light a candle, pray for me. I want to move up to the upper astral. You act as a guide, yes. Maybe you really do pray for someone if you are a believer. But if you take this card in everyday life, maybe you are planning to talk to your parents, to your relatives, to visit your homeland, or maybe you have already been there because things are already happening. Maybe you are already a connector. Most likely you are already the bright link in your family. But what can really make you angry is injustice. After all, this is the card of judgment. You see, this is a karmic card. Right now, you are involved in the karma of your family, the karma of your homeland, the karma of the place where you were born, where you grew up, or whatever country you belong to. But you are the bright link. And you have, well, you see, for example, there is human judgment, a card. Yes, these are purely human relationships, but yours are somehow more spiritual, soulful. I don't know. Maybe you're a philosopher. And during this full moon, it's extremely important. Maybe ordinary people will be drawn to you, for example, from your birthplace, where you were born, relatives, neighbors. I don't know. If you've moved around a lot, by the way, the card shows that you may change your place of residence. Kind of, yes, like as a helper, yes, as a spiritual person, higher powers can guide you, bring you somewhere where the light of your soul is needed, because you have a heightened sense of justice. So judgment is not just about knowing the laws, like, oh, you broke the law, but also about spiritual laws, the laws of the soul. In general, you are like a guide, but this can also be given because, well, Lilith is involved here. These are all our shadow sides, and you might flare up if you see, for example, injustice towards your relatives, your loved ones. By the way, this is also about inheritance, legacy, inheritance and legacy. For example, you were born in one land, but you live in another land. For example, you moved from one city to another, and if something unfair happens there, it affects you. Well, for example, factories pollute the air, and that pains your soul. You see, it's not just about human laws, but when something gets polluted, when there's some kind of dirt. Look, you have light, and where the dirt comes in, or in relationships with people, the law doesn't regulate that. You have to be a soulful person. It's not regulated by law. This is some kind of higher understanding. And I can tell you right away, you might also become aggressive. It can throw you off. And right now, the full moon can also throw you off balance. Well, for example, people from other regions, I don't know, come here and make a mess, or treat others badly. This may irritate you and make you want to argue, but it's best to stay calm during this full moon. The light of the soul. This is an important theme because you got two very significant cards. Well, maybe someone will go somewhere with their relatives. Yes, and you are like a bright connecting link. I don't know. For example, you went somewhere with your mom. Yes. For example, my friend is now going back to her homeland from Europe. She's going to her homeland. Well, I'm just giving examples from my own experience to make it clearer for you. Yes. Well, and, for example, you never know. Maybe the child could have some kind of nervous breakdown or something else. Yes. Maybe it's like giving some kind of light, some warmth. And you will be involved in this in some way. Maybe someone will just treat someone unfairly. And here it's important not to walk away, because you might get really upset because of the injustice. It's important to stay, or maybe the injustice will be directed at you. Maybe, and look, you need to be reborn, by the way. Yes, to be reborn. This might also affect someone else, also in terms of health, because rebirth, at the very least, can show that you can now be reborn, improve your health. But, and negativity might also get triggered. Well, since it's such a full moon, and if it's Sagittarius, then our patron, the ruler of Sagittarius, is Jupiter. It could be laziness, for example. Laziness. I don't want to move. Yeah, I don't want to move. Or I want to eat a lot. And if you haven't renewed yourself, this is also about your spiritual and emotional attitude toward yourself. By the way, you shouldn't go to extremes. Because, for example, if you want to revive yourself health-wise, you can revive yourself right now. Well, at the very least, look, the full moon can show itself for 2 weeks. By the way, there will also be a conjunction with Uranus. Something unusual, some unusual knowledge, maybe flights, Astrology? Uranus rules that. Yes. Very interesting. Yes, you can be reborn here. Well, and you can leave, of course. Yes, to emphasize, just Lilith. Yes, she can show shadow sides or some hidden talents. For example, I would read it more as hidden talents. To rise higher on the soul level, because this is a truly spiritual card. To go up one more step, to rise even higher somewhere. Just remember, really, maybe there was some lesson 9 years ago where something irritated you. Fire, yes. Well, you managed to get through it, and now something similar will happen. Well, for example, maybe before it was, I know what I want, but for example, I don't do it. Or for example, I have doubts about myself in relationships. Well, most likely, you went through it and did it. Yes, you did it, and now again. Maybe there are some doubts, maybe. But now, for example, when communicating with some people, the level is higher. Or maybe it's some kind of job. Yes, because Taurus is in play too. That's what I'm saying. The axis of catastrophes is very interesting. It's Aldebaran and Antares. These can be deep emotions connected to your life energy. Here it is. The very life energy that we earn money with, Taurus. We invest in long-term projects for a long time. We build a family. We build relationships. You will reach some new level here, and you definitely passed the previous one well. Let's ask, how did you do on the previous level? Well, because cycles, if we take Lilith, then of course they last for 9 years. And also, it turns out that Uranus is included here as well, and that's 7 years, and Uranus moved into Gemini quite recently. Aldebaran, by the way, is in Gemini. So, you need to work with light energy. Gemini is responsible for communication, transformation, change, and movement on a bright level, yes, and it also has a long-term influence. Well, let's ask now how you did on the previous level, because here it gives a really clear picture of you. It's great. Victory, karmic victory. Look, it's a real karmic victory. There were some changes that you overcame, but that was only halfway. Imagine how interesting it is. The card said that 9 years ago. You only won halfway. And for you, Jupiter, here's Jupiter, the scythe. This is a karmic card. Maybe you cut something off here, changed something. Someone passed away. The scythe can mean death. And you moved to a new level. Maybe you cut something off. Oh, by the way, 9 years ago. Well, I can talk about myself again. I just started getting information about myself. Maybe it will help you. 9 years ago, I changed my profession. I moved to another city. By the way, my relatives couldn't move. We planned to do it together. But it didn't work out. I had to make this sharp decision on my own. I stayed there for about 2.5 years, just growing professionally. And I had to travel to another city to see my relatives. Well, my family, my children, my husband. Well, those were long trips. Very long. It was really far. I had to drive for 9 hours. Otherwise, everything would have collapsed for me. I wouldn't have been able to grow professionally. In general, when something is difficult, yes, these kinds of karmic decisions. Maybe it's about growth, because Jupiter later brings expansion. Yes, by the way, I made very good money back then, and I also got my professional licenses there. Well, look, you also get expansion. Jupiter always brings expansion. Under Jupiter, you always get more of something, yes. Worldview, education, more knowledge. For example, you can get more real estate, expand something, the family can grow. Well, then it was only halfway, a partial victory. Imagine. And now there is an opportunity to heal something, to revive something. Let's ask how Hecate sees you. What is happening to you right now in terms of some karmic gifts? Jupiter always gives gifts. Knowledge, more. Gives something more. Maybe even money. Yes. But again, look, maybe emotions. Suddenly, oh, sorry, catastrophes. Maybe it gives more emotions. And with Taurus, it's more about finances, more knowledge. With Gemini, because Aldebaran is in Gemini, so it's a star that's actually in Taurus. Right in the constellation, yes, but at the moment it's in Gemini. Girls, I can tell you right away, Geminis, Virgos, and Jupiterians, you'll be getting some gifts here. An expansion of something, well, at the very least, knowledge and communication. But then Jupiter always asks, what did you do with it? What did you do with this? Here, this is great. You had a victory. You're moving up. Now, what's happening with you? Weigh your emotions. Well, that's it. So it's definitely about this for you. In Scorpio, the energies of Antares are already activated. There are a lot of emotions. But thank God, look, Hecate sees you as a guardian angel. This probably includes children, relatives, and parents. Basically, whoever you consider your loved ones. Friends can become like family when we've grown up together. That's just how it is. Well, of course, these are the people you truly cherish. This is a very heartfelt card for you, so treasure them. This is my kindred spirit. Such a dear person. My soul is with this person. By the way, this card can also mean that if you have relatives or loved ones who are far away, maybe you're worried about them. So take their emotions into account. Look, take their emotions into account. We need to unpack this. Interesting. So what else is going on with you? Hecate sees what's happening with you right now. Let's reveal this card. Neptune. It's karmic too. It also touches the 8th house of the horoscope, and this is the 7th house. Emotions towards those you interact with in general. You weigh the pros and cons. Neptune is a highly spiritual energy. It's faith again. Here it is, this card that came up for you. Here are some karmic ones, even karmic people. Karmic people are those who are connected to you by some. I'll say here that it's even more than that, not just by agreements, but on the simplest level, let's say, those who are connected to you by agreements on a human, everyday, earthly level. There shouldn't be any illusions there. Because the low energy of Neptune is lies, deception, and things like that, yes. On the family level, it's a birth certificate, a marriage certificate, who is connected to you. There are also people connected to you here on a spiritual level, just like that, without any contracts, like friendships. As I said, your spirituality is really activated. And now this is important during this full moon. Those who are just like, we're friends, we've agreed, we understand each other, yes. You also have this kind of level here, like several at once, an even higher level of connection. And you are somehow on this level, this card right here. You can communicate with people spiritually on a soul level through Neptune. Let's do it where there are no agreements based on human fairness. Your sense of higher justice is heightened right now. There is still no card of human justice, but you can explain it, create some kind of beautiful picture. Because Neptune favors fantasies. Imagination and creativity become especially vivid when we have heartfelt, philosophical conversations. Like when you are in some situations, like the examples I gave you, yes, some stories. Myths, yes. And people start to understand, for example, what Lilith is, the dark side. For example, a myth. And it's actually biblical, yes. It's a biblical story that you were Adam's first wife. She told him, "We were created from the same dust of the earth. We are equal. Why should I obey you? We are the same." Later, yes, Eve appeared from Adam's rib. But Lilith was like that. Independent, bright, creative, but also full of anger, aggression, and sometimes hot-tempered. That's where women are actually considered demons. Let's put it that way. That is, the darkest, shadowy sides that we don't want to admit to ourselves. And we also don't notice our own talents. Here, some kind of story gets activated again. Well, for example, look, like the scythe card if someone has it, just as an example. At that time, about 9 years ago, for example, someone died, passed away. Yes, you might have said, "I can't handle this alone without you. I won't be able to finish building the house." Or, I don't know, run the business. I don't notice my own talents, yes. But then you got through it, you overcame it, and you received some gifts, yes, like Jupiter gave you. Or, well, like, we don't notice it in ourselves. We can fall into despair, into apathy, and we turn away from creativity. We turn away from a higher spirituality within ourselves. Karmic, the consequences of our actions depend on this. So, you have won here, which means that right now, since we haven't drawn a single negative card, a creative process of fulfilling your desires is opening up. A dream will become reality. Because look, you have won here. Here, he is giving real gifts. Jupiter gives real gifts. It's just that later he asks what you can do with it. Yes, I gave you an apartment, for example, or I gave you a business, but you have to pay taxes for that. He asks later, yes, what are you doing here? Or to educate children, yes, I gave you a family, you gave birth to children, now teach them. What did you teach them? How do your children treat you, right? Or was your child able to pass the exam? Exams, yes, Jupiter, education, exams. That's it, so I'm asking you. I gave you a gift, what did you do with it? You succeeded here, yes. You have reached a new level. It's not for nothing that karmic Jupiter comes to you again, because you have some kind of talent. At the very least, on the axis of catastrophe, to heal something, to revive something. To go, well, at the very least to your homeland, to visit your family, to talk with them, or maybe to get rid of some negativity again. It seems like you're weighing some emotions here. What kind of emotions are you weighing? Four of Swords. Some kind of interaction that doesn't give you any resources. You did something, and it doesn't give you any resources. If you interacted with someone, the person didn't pay, doesn't give you any resources. Some kind of emotion that's not very positive. Well, the Lover's card, some kind of triangular situation. Someone, in your opinion, acted badly. Well, that's why there's a spiritual aspect to this. It's an acute sense of justice, but a higher justice. It's not nice to do that. Or maybe I treated myself that way, did something, and it didn't give me any resources. It just doesn't feel right on a soul level. Something went wrong. Well, for example, if it's about health. I went somewhere, yes, did something. Well, I don't know, a fitness club. Well, something just doesn't feel right, yes. By the way, it can be the same in relationships too. For example, well, things didn't turn out the way I wanted. Then you need to reconsider your approach. Maybe hire a different trainer. Or go somewhere else. Or you had surgery, but something doesn't look good, yes. Or you met someone. Oh, by the way, this can also apply to work. Work. And people act in an unpleasant way. At work, people behave badly. It's manual labor, so you can't really take it to court, but it still affects your spirit. Actually, you can take it to court here. Although it's a higher judgment, probably. Because higher judgment is above human judgment. And I'll say this. If someone treats you badly, or, God forbid, you treat yourself badly, then karma will come to you from here. Even if you don't go to court, there will be punishment here. I'm telling this right now to the people who treat you badly. For example, you lived with a man in the same house. Well, out of love, yes. He acts badly. You can't take him to court, but he won't marry you, take responsibility, or contribute to your shared home, the Four of Wands. So it's the Two of Wands. I work, and he works too. But he doesn't invest in housing, yes, in a shared home. It's not nice, and you can't take him to court. That's it. So the higher powers will punish him. Well, if you treat yourself badly, you waste your own resources somewhere. Probably, thank you. That's not the right way. It isn't kind to yourself. For example, thank you. Oh, I don't really remember the old stuff. I don't fulfill my own wishes. Bright, spiritual ones, for the soul. Well, wishes for the soul. Wow. I don't make myself happy. I'm not being nice to myself. Thank you. And I keep making the same old mistake again. I'm not being nice to myself. Because it shows the past. Look, the past. I don't remember the past, but I'm treating myself badly again. This is wish fulfillment. I'm not fulfilling my own wishes. By the way, with Jupiter, you can still dream, but do nothing. Dreaming, talking about it, but doing nothing. I'm not acting nicely. So Jupiter gives, but I don't take or do anything. Well, listen, no. Again, you are doing something here. So after all, someone is treating you unfairly. Maybe, even if you buy this card too. To buy and take it. Yes, for example, I wanted to buy something beautiful, but they sent me something ugly. I don't know. I kind of just eat whatever. This is something related to beauty. Someone is behaving badly. Someone is behaving badly. How is that possible? Someone can treat you badly. It's just not nice. Oh! Sucking your blood. Well, he should help. Assistance, look, you caught him. You did something good for someone. Someone devalued you. He should value you more. He should value you more. You are a more valuable employee at work, for example, or a person in the house. You are more valuable. Someone is devaluing you. You know, it's already like when a cow's milk comes out with blood. There should be respect and sacred reverence here. Well, like a sacred cow. Well, the one that, yes, gives. You can't not give. You're probably acting as a helper. Well, maybe here, either at work you give a lot, or at home, to your children. So, who is your helper here? And you help someone. Someone treats you badly. Well, yes, in love. Probably to those in love. Well, there can always be third parties. It doesn't have to be, for example, a husband. It could be, for instance, some third person. Friends are already being treated badly. Yes, they don't notice your, mother-in-law, for example. Anything can happen, yes. And it happens very often. I don't know if boys are watching. Maybe the mother-in-law acts badly? Yes. Like, she puts her own daughter forward. And they don't notice your achievements. Do you give gifts? They don't give you gifts. It's easier to say at work than at home. All right. Someone might be drinking blood right here. The one who should be helping. They should at least be grateful. Because something here is involved on the level of gratitude. Here it is, the highest energy. Okay. Also, how Hecate sees you right now. You are already being influenced at the moment of the full moon's effect. Get ready. Changes. Are you looking for some information? The transition is going in a better direction. Maybe, but it's just this trip and even flights. And I'll say it again, yes, it's also so interesting here. The axis of disasters. Maybe someone is afraid to fly. Now, really, flights have become so difficult because of the sanctions, even within the country. Yes, some scary things can happen. Yes, in general, disasters. Some kind of cataclysms are always happening, like hurricanes or something else. You watch the news, and you're amazed at what's happening, even just here on Earth. Not to mention more serious events, which, by the way, you take very seriously. You see, you have this sense of higher justice, like a foundation. You are, in general, guided by higher powers to places where there is injustice, so that you can harmonize and balance some kind of energy. The most important thing is that you don't treat yourself unfairly here. But for now, everything is fine. And by the way, the transition is going smoothly. You just need a lot of information here. This is the Six of Swords. Travel, trips, moving, changes, means of communication, and movement. The people you talk to are your close circle. And in your case, it could even be distant ones. But then, who do you communicate with through calls, messages, or other means? Here, it could be relatives, documents. By the way, documents, signing a contract. Cars themselves belong to the third house of the horoscope. Oh, by the way, the third house of the horoscope is ruled by Gemini. That's what it gives. Mercury brings communication and sociability. That's what Mercury is. It transfers information between different planets, for example, between the moon and the sun. They have extremely opposite energies. Well, he's so friendly and also takes information. Tolerant, I would say. Mercury, yes. You are also tolerant right now, and you are searching for some information to do what? To achieve your goal. For what? For the rebirth of the spiritual soul. To do something beautiful, essentially. To do something. I don't know, with relatives, with your homeland, in your homeland, directly for your loved ones. It's great energy, and it's very good. But it adds sharpness. Of course, a bit of spice. And you are a bit spicy here. And you weigh your emotions, you see, and somewhere there is a bit too much. Emotionality. The most important thing is not to explode. That's what I would say to you. Well, let's see. What should we ask? What should we ask? We've learned the main things. Maybe some advice? What do you need to know right in the full moon? Well, the full moon starts to take effect about 3 days later, day by day. What can you know during the full moon? Look, under the wands, the Mother of Water comes up. Well, on dry land. Again, yes. And you have this card, on the earth and the sacred cow. See, it's a bit reversed, right? We were asking about other people because someone is treating you badly. Or something unpleasant. If it's you yourself, then it's not a very nice situation towards yourself. So, what is supposed to happen here during the full moon? There will be even more emotions. Your creative potential will go off the charts, I'm telling you right away. If you feel like crying, just cry. If you feel like it, cry. If you feel like introducing something, that's good. In the upright position, again, it's positive. You'll want to, in the upright position, you'll want to stay in the bath and just lie there. Ah, well look, here the water mixes with the earth. Some kind of dirt might come out. There might be some clouds. I don't know. Dirty emotions from other people. Well, dirty water. Dirty water. Dirt might come out of the tap. Look, the earth mixes with the water. But this card, it passes quickly. These little clouds, they go away quickly. Let's put it this way, so that Lilith doesn't rebel. There's no dark energy. It's better not to get angry there. Even if dirty water comes out, you shouldn't yell, for example, at the utility company. You never know. Maybe it's a utilities issue. Maybe there's some kind of burst pipe or something like that. Still, you need this for something. Something will grow on your land. Something will grow on your land. Well, at the very least during the full moon, Maybe there will be some rains, thunderstorms. The weather might not be very pleasant, but it's necessary. You need to understand the higher meaning, where the opportunity for growth is. My dear ones, so you have an area for growth. And then the sun will warm you. It doesn't matter what happens here. Take it philosophically. What will come of it later? Well, let's say at the very least, if it rains, that becomes an opportunity for growth. Everything will start growing better all over. On the earth, that's how growth happens. For example, if I have negative emotions, I turn them into positive ones. I see a growth point on my land, which is my body. I will do something with my body here later, and it won't be there anymore. This is some kind of negativity. If someone shows me dirty, negative emotions, unpleasant ones, I perceive them like this. It's somehow not nice. Yes, that's exactly a growth point for me, so that I can grow again, and win again. And then I'll just add energy, and from this growth point, I'll do what I want. Everything will go my way. That's what you need to know. Well, yes, emotions can. A little bit. So what else do we have to do here? Look, the energies are the same. Like the Queen of Wands can do things for others. And here you still have some other people involved. And the emotional mother of water. She has such creative potential. Someone cried, let out dirty, negative emotions, and she gave away everything she had, down to her underwear, to others. She gives to others. She uses her creativity. She can turn mud, dirt, into something sweet, just to help others. But here, you need to keep it balanced, yes, without going overboard or without excess. It should be, well, because, our helpers here might complain, Mom, I can't. I'm tired. But what? Aren't you tired too? Basically, yes. Or when helpers at work say, I can't, I think, why did I pay you? Give the money back. So look here. Or how much effort I put in, and you can't do it. Well, then I'll file a complaint with the labor board. I don't know. I'll file a lawsuit. Well, here's this judgment card. What you say, what you just said, is the voice of God. Right now, you have God's mouthpiece in your mouth. You don't need to persuade anyone to change or do something. You just say, well, then I'll file a lawsuit, right? Even here, look, this card. To clarify, even if it's impossible to file a case in a human court, for example, here higher justice is restored. If someone was unjust, higher justice will be restored. And there will be punishment, but only under one condition. But if you choose the bright side, meaning Selene, and not Lilith, which you could fall into here, because Lilith is in Sagittarius, then you could fall under the devil's influence. You see, here there's a pentagram lying here, and if you turn it upside down, you could fall into the devil. I'll teach you how to live now. I know better than you what you should be like. No, we just leave it, speak calmly, say something about God, yes. Then when it happens, let's say with people, with a person, apparently they might remember it, or something else. Let's ask. Yes, boiling emotions, karmic ones, when they come up. Yes, what kind of aura from the past will surface? Yes, like this kind of vapor from the past. In the pot, they might understand why they are having a negative emotional blaze right now. The steam will rise. It will rise. So it's not you who is like this? I'll teach you now. Well, ego, pride, I know better here. But they said with the bright, yes, side. And all the subtitles. So, don't You need to know about the full moon. Here you are weighing something. It's difficult, but don't forget about yourself. Because for me, it's easier with other people, yes. But don't forget to treat yourself like an angel too. What? To others as well, by the way. The bright side. Really, because it's very easy here to slip into the reversed judgment. I go to church. I know the higher laws. But you sneaky bastard, yes. I'll teach you how to live. I'll start judging you. Well, then that's the mouthpiece of judgment. That's the mouthpiece of criticism. I'm criticizing you. I don't understand. For example, newcomers, yes. This is the homeland. And people who aren't from here have come. You're like an outsider, yes. Or other people, some newcomers. I don't understand you, yes. I'm criticizing you here. But what if you, for example, found yourself as a newcomer? Well, the situation forced you, yes, to go, I don't know, to work in a big city or to work in another country because you have to feed your children. Yes. Well, all sorts of tough things happen to people. That doesn't mean they're worse, for example. Well, I've faced this myself, for instance, sometimes in the US. Yes. They thought that if you don't speak properly, if you stumble a bit in conversation, then you don't know the language. Well, not thoroughly, not perfectly. Well, you weren't born there. You didn't grow up there. But here you don't break any laws. You do everything legally. You're registered everywhere. You pay taxes, and you treat people with respect. You might stumble over your words or say something wrong sometimes. That doesn't mean you're stupid, right? It doesn't mean you're some kind of second-rate person. Well, respect here, in general, there's a danger in that. What do you need to know? Well, in a new way, yes. Thank you. On the Earth, some kind of earthly energy will multiply for you. Wow, that's amazing. This will be earthly energy. Through spirituality, earthly energy will multiply. Well, what kind of earthly energy? Money, children. Well, that's the Empress. But I'm doing it for Hecate. What's above, above. That is, your earthly side will multiply through spiritual energy. The first land we have is our physical body. That means it will somehow improve. By the way, don't overeat. It's very easy to overeat. Just in relation to yourself. Gain weight, and something else. Oh, get pregnant. Fertility, oh, Ajac, oh, Lilith. Well, if you take Hecate, here she is, the triple goddess. Look, 1 month, another month, and here it is. The middle, they give the earth. This is fertility, yes, fertility. You can get pregnant. Age, well, if you are of childbearing age. Ah, well, and it can make you gain weight. In Sagittarius, yes, because the ruler there is Jupiter. You can gain weight or take on a lot of responsibilities. Ah, to gain a lot. Weight. Like this bowl here, a lot of food, a lot of shopping. To buy for the children, mother. To get a lot of things for the children. Resources. By the way, at least 3 months on Earth. Your land is being revived. Oh, maybe there's something negative here. But this is fertility, a card of fertility. You can breed like rabbits. Look, if you are in harmony, for example, men might come onto you who want to breed like rabbits. They want your land, your beautiful body. On the negative side, look, emotions, yes. Here, your resources can grow. Children might want your resource. Mom, come on, and it will never be enough. Never enough. You need to stop in time, Mother Earth. Everything in its time, yes. Look, you see, time works on Earth, Saturn. What will help you? Everything happens in its own time. On Earth, everything should be timely. We already had breakfast this morning, so we can rest now. It's summer anyway. It just happens to be May 31st, right? And June is already starting. You have 3 months of fertility. For example, everything should be as it should. We had breakfast, there's no need to eat chips for breakfast, right? Or we still get up on time anyway. In summer, for example, there's something going on with the parent-child relationship here. It should be on time. Come on, well, okay, even if it's the weekend or vacation now, still, maybe you can sleep in for an hour in the summer. But still, something should be on time. Yes, even in the summer. You can let the child rest, but still not too late then. Yes. Well, not to turn it upside down, yes. Just not to turn it upside down. Ah, so your resources will grow for 3 months. In 3 months, your resources will increase. It will grow over the summer. and you'll harvest some fruits in September and October. But everything should be on time. Well, let's say you have a man who's, well, like a rabbit, right? Wanting to have a baby. If you're no longer of fertile age, darling, I understand. Everything should be on time. And, for example, if he really wants it, meaning let him go so he can have a child. It's the right time for him, but not for you, so we calmly let him go. Well, yes, maybe that's it. We can't forbid a person if it's the right time for him, right? Let's say. Well, I mean, men really can father children for a long, long, long time, yes. And we also have fertility on Earth. If it's not the right time for you, then you can let him go, yes, because it won't lead to anything good. There is a right time for earning money. For some, it's time to rest, and for others, it's time to earn. So, listen, you'll have to use your intuition here. At the full moon. During the full moon, you will feel what is the right time for you and what is not. I can't give you advice here. Neither Hecate nor anyone else can help you now. Only you will know what is the right time for you. Which work is right for you at the right time? Sorry, that's why we even have a retirement age. Well, even the government admits it now. It's not the time for you to work anymore. It's time for something else. And here, it's something spiritual. For example, maybe it's time for me to help my mom now. Mother, mother, mother. Or maybe it's time for the children to help their mother. You build up some kind of resource, and all of this will be based on intuition. Editor. Regarding finances, relationships with men, relationships with children, and with your homeland, by the way. Well, for some, it's time to visit their homeland. And for others, on the contrary, it's time to leave it. Before, for example, you could somehow stay here, but now it's time to leave, let's say. Well, here, in just 3 months, it will really be like that. There was a time when you had to, for example, work hard, toil on the land. But now, the time has come, I put it in the wrong place. And now the time has come, well, you get it, right? What else will this full moon tell you? What is it about? What does it bring you? I want to open this here so I can see. We've already gone over it. I'll just put the deck in. Thank you for... Half the journey was finished 9 years ago. Thank you. Or maybe 6, half a year. If we look at the wands, it's a shorter period than it was 6 months ago. Something sharp could have happened, and it was time to gather. That's why just a minor arcana card came up here. Well, I was asking about Lilith. It's a 9-year cycle, but still, yes, such an arcana. Maybe some kind of repetition started 6 months ago. Lunar cycles can have that too. Just here. Well, a lot of things are combined in this full moon. What else do you need to know? The transformation continues. In general, the transformation is ongoing. This is Archangel Michael. It's not even an angel next to you. It's Archangel Michael. But he is so warlike. War will also be involved. Some inner energies will be engaged. Warlike ones. Where? Your personal warlike energies. You know, you are not participating. Well, unless someone is watching and you are participating, then you will obviously be directly involved in this. They may flare up again. Well, these are really warlike energies of victory, of a winner. Well, let's talk about you, Here is something sharp. Yes, something is being given. For what? For victory always, always. Between darkness and light, in the upright position, go towards the light. Between darkness and light, look, on earth in ordinary energy. That is, above you will have Archangel Michael. Not just an angel. For what? So that you achieve some higher goal? Well, you work for it. That is, you work hard. For 9 years you have been working hard, and you will still be working on something to achieve some higher goal. Well, and you will be much happier. Look, something is expanding. It's really expanding. There's some movement, relocations, trips, and for some people, it might even be on a global level. Advancement. Actually, advancement. Well, in this card, with this earthly energy, if you take the chariot, there is always temptation. You've seen it on the decks. Well, I can't find it right now. But on the decks, those who have looked at them for a long time will notice there's a sphinx, or a black dog, a white dog, sphinxes, yes, black and white. Events will develop at a tremendous speed. 6 months. The major arcana have appeared. 6 months. The major arcana, 6 months. Where you will constantly be tempted by either darkness or resourcefulness, to redo things again, to go into overdrive, well, for example, in relation to yourself, to overindulge, to redo something, to overwork. Because this also shows work, overworking for the sake of a goal, for the sake of quickly achieving a goal. Because look, this is how we achieve goals. Well, here it's 9 years, let's say here, for example, half a year and 6 months, that's the story, right? We achieve it. I leave because I have a lot of talents. I can go without sleep. I can work like a horse, right? And so what? Well, the chariot will overturn, right? Somewhere we'll kick the bucket, right? Oh, by the way, there's more here. Be careful your legs. If you go toward a dark goal, your legs might suffer. If you rush too much, you could get into an accident. If you hurry too much, you don't check your documents. About your own resources, then let's do it this way, let's say, or some family documents, because here you are going as a mother, as the empress, family, children's documents, something like that. I don't know, payments, benefits, expenses, spending on children, on the family. We can, well, turn everything upside down. Keep an eye on your resources, because for the sake of achieving some short-term goal, you might not make it to the main one later. There are always temptations like that. Those of you who drive, be careful too, okay? There's no need to rush. Watch for the signs. The archangel will be sending you signs, karmic signs, important signs. There will definitely be this kind of inner struggle, about your own resources. Whether to sit down and eat, whether to do something faster or not, whether to achieve something or not, starting a war with yourself or with someone else. Okay, let's keep going. Honestly, I don't remember. I put another card here, but I don't remember anymore, and I accidentally removed it. A minor arcana card came up here, and we were just revealing this one. Well, okay, apparently that's how it's supposed to stay. Nothing happens by accident. Maybe this is exactly a karmic hint from the archangel. Look, a sharp karmic hint. I don't treat myself well. Someone else doesn't treat me well. And it's not even just about not treating me well. It's like someone can treat you badly. Well, and we can also treat ourselves badly. Yes, like I want to. But I can't get married, and someone treats me badly. I still, want to achieve my goal. And I don't care. I'm going right for it. I want to get this little gift from fate. I want to get it. But then you'll have to deal with it. Yes, the karmic consequences can be sharp. Well, let's put it that way. What else do you need to know for the full moon? Another major arcana, Cray. Sacrifice, don't sacrifice yourself. Or help your loved ones. Close ones, beautiful people, create beauty. Look, in the upright position, in a good, positive position, it's the arcana of sacrifice. It always is. There is a connection with higher powers, like a little phone line to them, and I help them. My loved ones, close ones, family, without any conditions. Just a helper. If I want to do it, then I do it. And I don't make any demands on them, like, you owe me, you jerk. And if it's something with debt obligations, like if I want to buy something nice, for example, use it, achieve a goal, like a beautiful apartment. I don't know. And here, it's something with family. With the family, you see, maybe, what to do. Family. Yes, family property, a family resource, where you feel good emotionally. Okay. Well, in general, it's always about whether I'm sacrificing myself or not. Whether people want to make me a victim by saying nice things, because this is a card of choice. Someone might say nice things to make you a victim. Well, or we can convince ourselves that we really need this. But does it actually lead us to our goal, to your specific goal? Does it really lead you to your goal? Some kind of, remember, your own karmic goal. Expansion of fertility. Thank you. Karmic words illusion, Neptune. Superficial knowledge. Don't trust superficial information, probably. But you need to talk a lot to avoid illusions. By the way, hints can come to you in dreams. Oh, a card just fell out. Look, hints can come to you in dreams. And from the lower astral realm, and from the upper one, I'm telling you right away. Because this is a sharp card, from both there and there. Well, what is the lower astral? For example, fears can come in a dream to some relative who is afraid of something. Oh, don't go there. Well, maybe they even love us, but still. Oh, don't go there, you shouldn't. I don't know. To instill some kind of fears. You'll lose your house, your car. Well, even from the higher astral, too. Here, from both sides. Let's ask. You need to know. Oh, what do you need to know about this? Take it easier. Dreams can lie. Different ones, emotional ones can. Well, some changes are coming. In general, take it easier. Thank you. And they can push you out of your comfort zone. Kind of like the reversed Four of Pentacles. Subtitles. And this is also the card of dreams. These are dreams. It's called sleep we see. Probably something with real estate. Yes. Mother, mother. Mother of air, you think about this and constantly look for information. Whether it's real estate or money, yes, there could also be household members. Well, probably, after all, the kind that you see in your dreams. Yeah. Overall, it seems like I can't stop thinking about it. And dreams can be scary. You shouldn't be afraid. You need to see something good in them. Otherwise, it's unreasonable. There are some unfounded fears here. Such rare information comes through. Dreams can be deceiving. In general, dreams can be frightening. Oh, right. About the area you're thinking of. Let me take another deck. It's just easy to ask. Let's sit down. Just show what we need to know, and then we'll go from there. Here comes the transition. Well, or a trip, a transformation. What? This card just says, the time of change will end quickly. It's not going to last very long. Some changes will start, and they will end. Everything looks good right now. Well, maybe some trip, but not a very big one. Or maybe some change, but not a very big one. Be in a peaceful place. Peaceful place. Keep that sense of peace in your soul, too. And then depression or whatever is weighing on you will end quickly. Depression, or maybe it's just an emotional, possibly depressive state. Well, fears might also be scaring you here. Then it will go away very quickly. Or some other illness will also pass. The card itself is why I'm talking about trips, especially short ones. Travel or relocation, meaning a change of location or a change in general. There's something here about changes. Well, whatever you're thinking about will pass quickly if you stay calm and don't worry too much for no reason. And not to lose sight of your goals. By the way, it's very important here not to lose sight of your main goals. Then what? What about the goal? Talk. There will be a lot of superficial information. Damn. Don't forget about logic. The card says that too. There will be a lot about your goals, a lot of superficial information. Be very careful too. Very careful. A warning. Oops. Wow, what a map. Ah, well, it's both good and bad at the same time. There could be conflicts. Well, and you might start a conflict with someone. The information is shallow. It's simply saying not to get into conflicts, or it will get worse. And any fears are all short-lived. Conflicts are all short-lived. You will also be shown conflict-prone people. What about them? Don't engage. It's a mirror. The world will show you. But if you engage in conflict, there will be conflicts, pointless actions, and pointless fuss. People will drag you into pointless actions and pointless fuss with superficial words. No, it's important not to lose sight of your goal. It depends on what you want. An opposing opinion can cause conflicts. Don't forget how much your time is really worth, or how much your money is really worth. You shouldn't get lost in ambition either. Ah, right. Oh, wow, that's impressive. Ah, you. Say it again somehow. Don't focus on the negative. Because everything is already turned upside down. Everything is already changed. Out. The negativity has left your path. Ah, and that's it. Everything negative that happened for a reason. For some purpose. Please, look up, look. Up. Hidden blessing. In short, we blessed you. Yes, maybe we showed you some negativity, but it's a blessing, so that you could see it. And as for the way out, well, in this card, there are two ways out. Two ways out. Well, maybe they'll show you more negativity, by the way, so that you can see the hidden blessing. You saw hidden blessings there. There's a point of growth. You got so many cards about a philosophical attitude towards life. You shouldn't criticize, neither yourself nor others. Otherwise, some of your goals might get blocked. Here we are on Earth. Don't. Tolerance, probably both towards yourself and others. What else? Flame. Oh. What do you mean? Oh, well, plans. They'll be going back and forth. You don't know yet. Or maybe some people will interfere with your plans. You don't know yet, but plans will be back and forth. Something back and forth. Work plans. Something back and forth. What does that mean for you? A. Your plans are protected. They will change. They will fluctuate. But your plans are protected. A. Make sure to protect, your own. Your own. Created. What you create, you create. Be ready not to give up. And angels will help. Well, here the archangel is helping you. And angels will help. There will be activity. But don't forget about animal rights. Animal rights. So some people will bark or something. Well, like behave like pigs, like animals. Basically, don't get dragged into the mud. I can also say right away, if this is about angels, about archangels, it's an agreement. Try to wear light-colored clothes. Shift your thoughts in a more positive direction. because they can also interfere with your plans. Because there are already some solutions to finish everything quickly and well. Ah, and again, the stairway to heaven helps you grow karmically again. Maybe you'll help someone, like someone who's in the boat with you here, right? You're helping someone grow karmically. All of this is quick. It will be kind of fast. You see, there's nothing drawn out here. There's nothing long-lasting at all. Bam! There it is. I remembered, so as not to be in some kind of black, dirty state, not to be so out of it. Bam! You grabbed onto the ladder, moved up a step, caught on, approached. Because angels and archangels, you still need something bright, even among the bright ones. With bright emotions. Even if you speak different languages, like a dolphin and a mermaid talking. Well, we have a dolphin and a mermaid. What differences can we have? We can have different social classes, different societies, different worldviews, different beliefs, different perspectives on life between parents and children, grandparents. Yes. Well, things like that. With bright emotions. In general, look, bright emotions save you. They open the way for change. A lot of good things will come to you afterwards. In the future, yes, what you're planning now will keep changing all the time. Well, there will be something minor here. I mean, it's something big, something global. It has a global impact on something major. Have you seen cards like that? After some time, in half a year, in 3 months. But there will be some little things happening here that will pass very quickly. There's no reason to worry about them. You just need to keep changing everything to something more positive. Even something that simple, I don't know. You were walking somewhere. The weather was bad. A car drove by. Some jerk was in a hurry and splashed me from head to toe. Go in, change into something bright. Or approach it with positive thoughts. And, for example, you'll meet someone and everything will be fine with them. And you'll talk to them. But if you're angry and swearing at everyone at that moment, yes, then the person who might be supposed to help you on your way, yes, he won't even come near you. He'll see too much darkness in you. Well, I don't know. Or you should have a great time with your child, but some little dark thing, something irritates you. Well, I don't know. Well, in general, it opens up a lot in the future. A positive emotion, multitasking. Look, it creates something new. Listen to your intuition. That's why I'm telling you, again, there's a strong focus on gut feeling here, relying on gut feeling, on intuition. Here is where something is born. Well, here is where what your soul desires is born. Or heartfelt communication. A rebirth of health, a rebirth in your homeland, a rebirth of your loved ones. Ah, and again, something bright. Well, look, here's a good message for you. Here it is being reborn. Renewal, renewal. Here is Pluto as well, but Pluto can be oppressive. Oppressive emotions. Exactly, frightening emotions according to the moon. It's always scary. Who is the enemy here, and who is the friend here? The most important thing is to be your own friend and not mess things up now. You shouldn't just stay in one place. You need to go somewhere. The moon always brings something new to life for us. Here, it revives something new. It brings something good to life. And Pluto also brings transformation. The transformation is a good one. We even had the transformation card fall out. Right? Right. And the transformation is for your distant future. And right now, there will be a lot of little things here. That's how I would put it. A lot of great opportunities. Then buy something expensive. But look, you have to get there. Grab the chance. There are a lot of good chances, good opportunities to get somewhere in the future. Well, for example, to develop something, to develop some knowledge. Practical ones then. Pentacles, here are the pentacles. Practical knowledge. To earn later, a lot of money ahead. Yes, to save up and buy. Some expensive purchase. To do some renovations, family property. I don't know. Something like that already. On the ground, well, or someone here is restoring their health. Well, to do it the way you like. It will be beautiful for you. We all have different tastes, different things. A beautiful renovation. I don't know. A beautiful place. A beautiful workplace. Something to your liking. Well, that's the significator. Cool purchases, maybe. Big ones like Fakel, Rucom. Yeah, well, your kids can do it too. There are actually a lot of relatives like that here. Let's put it this way, not just kids. Some close people, relatives. Oh, they'll make the dream come true. There are so many chances to make the dream come true. Well, during this period, let's focus on the short term, because the cards showed a lot about the future, and it's true. In general, this is also a card of healing, and you are on the catastrophe axis. I'll say it again. I don't know why they called it that. The catastrophe axis, the catastrophe axis. Well, purely by human standards, yes, you can actually heal something here. Well, it's just a beautiful place. Yes, but, well, you don't like it. I look at the wall, and I just don't like it. Bam. I turned on my intuition. I wasn't scared, and I did something beautiful myself. I used my hands. Yes, I made my dream come true. There can be different dreams here. Well, in general, there are a lot of chances now to make your dream come true. And to get a good resource. That's what it is. That's interaction with other people. Oh, I drew 2 cards. It will all come back to you later. Look, the 10 of Pentacles. Everything will come back later. Really, later. Later, really, somehow. So, I thank you, my dear ones, for being with me today. Please like and leave comments. It's easy. It will make me very happy. Subscribe to the channel. Visit Aganyok. Visit the main page of the channel. There are a lot of playlists. A very large video library. I've been making readings for many years. And a huge number of timeless readings. Right now.